What is up? Welcome to Flip Your 20 Friday. I don't know why these all start with a song, but it makes me chuckle because it's okay to not be perfect, and singing is not quite my thing. So, this is our first Flip Your 20th Friday. And if you were with me on Monday, that was our first Monday with Molly. So, we'll be able to be together 2 times each week on Monday and Friday. Of course, go ahead and subscribe because you're on YouTube. That's what you do. So, Flip Your 20 Fridays, what they will be is basically a Q&A session. And anyone who is a subscriber can submit a question to me, and then they'll be put in basically in a hat, and I'll pick out a question and answer 1 or 2 questions every Friday. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and then submit your question. You can either submit it to me here in the comments below. It can be anonymous. It can not be anonymous. That's totally your choice. You can also submit your question at info@mollykennedyspeaks.com or on Instagram, DM me at flipyour20_. So this first question is a question I get a lot, especially from teenagers. So I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it because I get this question quite a bit. So I'm not actually reading the direct question right now. And also, I know I told you I just went like this. This is like, we're gonna keep it real. There's no fancy graphics. I'm gonna do everything in one shot until maybe later on I decide to edit things, but I'm just keeping it real. So it's like a conversation because sometimes fancy is too much. I'm like, simple is kind. So the question is that I often get is, some of my friends, people I've been friends with for a long time, we seem to not really be friends anymore, or that longtime friend is being mean to me or kind of giving me the cold shoulder, or calling, just kind of being, mean to me, talking behind my back, either in person or on social media. And then the question is, so I don't know what to do with that. Like, I don't think I've done anything wrong, or maybe there's something wrong with me, and they're like, and it's hurtful. I don't know what to do. So here's my advice for you, and this is really for any age. Is at any point in life, friendships evolve, they change, they grow. Sometimes they die, for lack of a better word, and that's the reality of it. So knowing that, if this person has been your friend for a while and they're, distancing themselves or hanging out with people maybe that aren't making great choices and that's not the direction you're going, or whatever the case might be, if it really matters to you and you really want to know why, or you're hurt and you want the friendship to continue, not because we've been friends forever, but because you really like this person, I'm going to suggest something like wild to you. What if you go up and you talk to them? What? Molly, you're crazy. Say, hey, I've noticed that like we haven't been hanging out a lot lately, or you're hanging out with some new friends, and I don't know, did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? Are we just going in separate directions? Like, when you come at it from a place where you're questioning it, you're not accusing, like, you don't hang out with me anymore, you're a jerk. Like, don't do that. But you're just you're genuine and you're just curious. You're likely going to get an answer. Now, the person might be thrown off and they might be honest, they might not, but all you can do is control yourself. So why not ask them? And if that is too wild of an idea and you want to text them or DM them or snap them and ask, that's fine too. My biggest suggestion, though, is avoid it being an accusatory tone. Like, you're a jerk and you don't hang out. That's not going to get any results. Now, the other thing I'll say is this. As you go through life, and again, whatever age you are watching this is something I've learned from my counselor, is, and I love this analogy, think of your friendships like a bookshelf, right? And there's different shelves. And some friends are like top shelf people. You can go to them for anything. They will always have your back no matter what. And there's only going to be, if you have one person on the top shelf, you're in good shape. If you have 2 or 3, great. And then there's just different levels. It doesn't mean the lower you go, the worse the person is. Nope. It just means you label what each shelf is, right? Like maybe you have some friends that are on a shelf that is like just the fun shelf. Like you're not going to disclose any of your biggest secrets or fears to them. But if you just want to go and have a fun time, grab a friend from that shelf. You know, maybe you have a friend who is always a great listener, right? They might not be the most fun person, or they might not be able to give you great advice, but man, they're just a good listener. They really care. Maybe that's what you need. So you go to that person on that shelf. So you get to decide and design and label what your shelves are, and you'll have different friends on each shelf. And here's what's really important to know too. It's okay, no matter how long the friendship has been, a long time, a short time, you can choose and move where those people are on the shelves at any time. So I know for myself, there are times where people have been on a shelf for a very long time and it's great. And then you're like, I think it's time for that person to move to a different shelf. It doesn't have to be a big production. It's just, just where we are at different parts in our lives, or what I'm looking for in a friendship versus what that person is. There's all different reasons why people go on different shelves. Now, someone may have broken your trust and they were on a top shelf and now they're on a different shelf. Maybe they're off a shelf for a while. That's up to you. I'm just saying it's okay, and you have permission to choose who you want on each shelf. That's your choice. It does not matter. And this was a tough one for me to get. It doesn't matter how long you've been friends for. Maybe you've been friends for a couple months, for many, many years. I'm old enough to have friends for decades. So it's okay for you to adjust where they are, because you also evolve as a person. And that's important to remember too. Life is all about growth and learning and changing and improving. And sometimes people come with you for that ride, and sometimes people don't want to have any part of that ride. Look, I've lost friendships too, because we're at different places in our lives where I've evolved and someone else hasn't, and they're like, you've changed. And I'm like, I hope so. I was not a great person before. I was angry and bitter. You want that person? Right? So it's about learning and growing. And is it hurtful sometimes when you lose friendships? Yeah. Or that friendship changes? Yes. It's hard. It's frustrating. And that's part of life. And the more you accept that and just realize it, that's okay. So as long as you're doing the best you can, be a good person, it's okay. And even that friend who maybe the friendship you've lost, or it's just not as strong, you both can still be good people and just not be super close anymore. That's okay too. It doesn't mean one of you is like a terrible human. Nope. It just means change and evolution. That's really all it means. So if you feel like a friendship is fading, go to the person and ask. Just ask, hey, I'm curious what's going on, or I feel like we're not as close. Ask. If you don't ask, you never get the answer. So I hope that helps you today on our first Flip Your 20 Friday. Again, subscribe if you want me to answer your question. Subscribe and then submit it. Either email me. See, someone else may have edited that out. I'm not. I'm like, I'm going to do it again. Why not? Be normal, be human, be real. So you can email me, put it in the comment below, or DM me at Instagram, flipyour20_. All right, hope you have a great rest of the day. Hey, it's Friday, so that means flip your 20, yo. Peace.